Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm just chilling in the hammock. Let me show you a few signs of life in spring in the exotic garden. Let's get straight to the video. Well, first things first, excuse the mess. I am preparing the pergola for a roof, so we don't have to keep drying off the patio set. But yeah, I just want to show you a few signs of spring, signs of life. I think it's a good month is May, because things are starting to grow again. So I'm going to do a quick, oh yeah, that's a sign of my DIY skills. So we've got the Persicaria red dragon bursting into life. Again, this is just, it spreads through the beds, easy to propagate. I would recommend, if you're not growing Persicaria, try the red dragon, it's brilliant. Behind it is the Euphorbia shillingi, which gets absolutely huge. Dies back to the ground, but it does grow really tall. Then behind that we've got my grove of Mussabastu. So we're onto one leaf already shredded, and incomplete at the top. You can see there, it's that you always get the first one that you've cut. Sliced these when I unwrapped them about a month ago. A few pups, and I have removed a few pops as well to sell. We've got the giant scabious back here, christened by one of our resident pigeons, and then the lupins are popping off as well, decimated by slugs under there. But lupins are one of the first things to flower in the garden. You can see around here, this is what my tetrapanax are doing so far. There you go. Not very tall, but I've got two that popped last year, pushing out decent growth now. So I'd be interested in see how they grow through the summer. And then above it, Trachycarpus has got two flowers. I think the male flowers, from what I can remember. They didn't flower last year, but the year before I got one. And these are really solid. Let me know if they are male or female. I do think they're male. Right behind that, we've got just loads of growth in the Fatsia japonica, another one over there as well. Anyone who grows Fatsia will know they put on all their growth in spring, so you get an idea of the new height. And you can see there, so under here would be where the flowers were, and here, look, this is where the new growth appeared from this growth point. So we've got all of that in one season, and these will get huge. But I love that look of the new fresh shiny foliage before it goes a bit duller afterwards. And I've got three of those, and this one over here has just peeked over the fence, which is going to allow me to underplant, cut back and underplant. I've already got some big ferns under there, but I've been waiting for about 3 years for this to reach that height. Now I'm just stepping back to show you the size of the Gunnera. It's already bigger than it was last year, and we're in first weekend of May. I have kind of put a support under there because I do want to still underplant that with something. Not sure what though, but and I think I'm going to cut off the flower spikes as well this year, because I'm not that bothered about them, and I'd like it to put all the energy into the leaves. But they are looking really good, and I'm not going to make the same mistake as last year by missing a few days of watering. I'm literally going to water it every day this year to make sure the leaves stay lush and green, because last year they browned off. Moving slightly across, so I've got two cordylines at the minute in the garden. Again, I'm not a massive cordyline fan, but they do fill a space. But look at the size of that flower spike. This is the first time it's flowered, and it looks a little bit ridiculous. I mean, look at the size of that's the trunk there, and the flower spike is probably as long as the trunk, if not longer. I've not had a flower yet, so that's what it looks like. And then I've got my Miscanthus lutaparia, you know, the giant grass that I put in a few weeks ago. It's definitely rooted in. I can see some new growth, but it hasn't got any new height on it like my Miscanthus giganteus has. Move round. Cardoons are putting on really good growth. Huge. I mean, we've gone from nothing to that in about a month and a half for the cardoons, and it's kind of edged out the Euphorbia mellifera. So the Euphorbia mellifera is under there somewhere, but it's just finding a space and filling a gap in this part of the what is kind of the shady bed. And above that you can see all the new growth of the Fargesia bamboo. Same on this side of the bridge, you can see all the new growth here. Decent size on the culms as well as the thickness. I do like this as a bit of a punctuation point in the garden. Just going to head over the bridge. Wisteria's out. I did a really harsh cutback last year, so it's got gaps. We'll see what happens when it comes back. And then if I zoom in, you can see, let's see where my finger is. Here is my Paulownia growth. I'm gonna climb in and get a better view of that. Here it is. That's the entirety of the Paulownia growth. So this was year 1, cut back, then it came from here for year 2, cut back again, and then it's down here. Ah yeah, there's my Miscanthus giganteus. I did take a few root cuttings, so there's a bit of a gap here, and then the original spot was in the middle. You can see it's sort of reached the edge of the steel edge of the path there, but that should put on some growth. And just over the other side of the bridge I've got my Arundo Donax, which all of this is the new growth. Interesting last year for me, and I'd love to know if it happened for you as well, that all the early growth of the Arundo Donax was relatively thin and small, and then later in the summer, well I suppose like July, it put on all the really huge culms. Over there you can see the desert bed. Let's go and have a look at that. Not a lot really happening growth wise since I uncovered it. I have put I did root a few pads of Apuntia humifusa, so I've stuck them in just to see what happens. A few ants going on as well, but interesting there, look, that sort of pale growth on the Agave Americana. I think that probably came from the depth of winter when it was lacking in light a little bit. But yeah, not much growth at the minute in the arid bed. A lot of the growth is obviously happening elsewhere. Let's have a look at my Camarops humilis. Anyone want to help me out on these spots on the leaves? I have cut back a lot of leaves. Little trunk forming on there, and it is growing, but it's yeah, something going on the front there, if you would let me know. And then we'll just finish the tour in the greenhouse. Look at the cactus collection. There you go. So first flowers is always the Echeveria agavoides, and no other flowers at the minute, so there's not a lot to show. Still have my little rock pot for the Dudleya over there. All of my Sonchus are coming back. Got my Sonchus canariensis and my Sonchus parmensis, and then this nice little Pinella that I got from Cliffbank Nurseries. Shout out to Ben, which is interesting putting on. Don't know if that's a flower or not, but we'll see. And then a bit of a propagation station down there. So I think that's probably it from me for this one. It's always a nice time of year. Not a lot to see in terms of finished products, but it is the start of the summer. I suppose it would just be nice to have 5 months of nice weather with a little bit of rain sprinkled in here and there. Anyway, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and do consider subscribing if you're not already. Cheers.